So you know Lou Gramm, right? The original singer for Foreigner. The guy who belted out all those huge rock songs like I Want to Know What Love Is and Jukebox Hero. Well, besides all the Foreigner stuff, Lou has also had a pretty big solo career. One of his best known tunes was Midnight Blue, a killer song from 1987. But there's a really interesting and kind of tough story about that song, the big tour that he was on, and a phone call that basically changed everything for him in just a moment. Lou shared this story just a couple of weeks ago while performing at the Ocean Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So here's the deal. Midnight Blue and his first solo album, Ready or Not, happened because Foreigner was taking a break back in the mid-80s. Lou said that Mick Jones, who was kind of the main guy and guitar player for Foreigner, decided that he needed to take some time off because they'd been touring like crazy. So this break gave Lou the chance to finally work on his own music. And man, did he ever. The album Ready or Not did really well, and Midnight Blue just took off. Lou said it was one of the most played rock songs on the radio back in '87. And to make things even better, he was out on tour with a huge name, the Steve Miller Band. Imagine that. Your solo song is a massive hit and you are touring with a legend like Steve. Lou must have been flying high. His own music was a big deal and he was playing to huge crowds every night. But then, right when things were probably feeling pretty darn amazing, he gets a phone call. It's Mick Jones. Turns out, Mick has decided that the break was over and he wanted to get Foreigner back together again to record a new album. But before he did that, he needed Lou to spend some time with him hammering out new songs. And he told Lou, hey, if you can't do it, I will find someone else who will. Now, put yourself in Lou's shoes. Your solo stuff is exploding, you're on this big tour, people are loving what you're doing, and then the band that made you famous in the first place is calling you back. It's a pretty tough spot, right? Lou admitted that he did not want to leave. He was loving the success he was experiencing, and being on the road with Steve Miller was pretty darn cool. But you know, Foreigner was a huge part of his life. It was a tough choice, and weighing his new solo success against the band that he'd been with for so long, in the end, he decided to go back to Foreigner and had to leave the Steve Miller tour prematurely. And during that recent concert, he was pretty darn honest about how he felt about it. He said that he was miffed, basically really annoyed and a bit ticked off. And you can totally see why. He had this monster hit, a great chance to really push his solo album, and it all got cut short because he was needed back home. It's one of those behind-the-scenes stories that shows you that it's not all just rock and roll glamour. These guys have to make some tough choices. Midnight Blue is still a great song, and it really shows how talented Lou Gramm is on his own. But knowing this story, what was going on at the time, it kind of makes you think, man, what if he'd been able to keep that solo tour going? It just adds a little something extra to the song when you hear it now.